You know, in every single conversation you have, every meeting you sit in, there's a whole other conversation happening right under the surface. It's this hidden world of communication, this human matrix of unspoken fears and desires that most of us just never ever see. But what if you could?
That is a seriously bold promise from behavior expert Chase Hughes, right? And that's exactly what we're digging into today. This idea that you can learn to see what's really going on with someone. Not in an hour, not in a day, but in just a few minutes.
We're looking for the truth. Because let's be honest, most of us, most of the time, are walking around with a kind of social blindness. We hear the words people are saying, but we're totally missing the real story. So the very first step is to understand what we're actually up against.
To see this hidden matrix, we first have to recognize the one thing that's hiding it, and it's something every single one of us has, and we all use it every single day.
Think of it like a social mask. It's the face we present to the world so we can be accepted, so we can fit in. We all do it. It's this primal need to survive in the tribe. But behind that mask, that's where the real information is. And your brain, well, it already has the tool to see right through it.
See, you have this ancient animal part of your brain. It's been communicating without words for millions of years, way before we ever came up with language. It basically comes pre-installed with software to read people, passed down from every ancestor you've ever had.
And this is where it gets interesting. That mammalian brain of yours is constantly scanning people, but it can't just send you an email to tell you what it's found. Nope, it sends you a feeling. That gut feeling you get about someone, that's your brain's nonverbal intelligence report. And we're about to learn how to actually read it.
So, how do we translate those feelings into something we can use? Well, it doesn't start with a fancy technique. It starts with a mindset, a brand new filter for seeing the world that makes everything else possible.
Okay, these 4 laws are absolutely crucial. First, everyone is suffering and insecure. We're all fighting these private battles. Second, everyone is wearing a mask to hide it. Third, and this is key, everyone pretends they're not. And finally, number 4, everyone is just a product of their past, shaped by what hurt them and what got them praise. So that person who just cut you off in traffic, when you see them through this lens, the judgment kind of melts away. Maybe you see someone whose past made them feel powerless. This mindset, this is the operating system that makes all the other tools work.
All right, with our new mindset installed, let's get to the good stuff. Our first set of practical X-ray tools. We're starting with the eyes because it's where we're usually looking anyway. And man, do they reveal a ton of information.
Okay, first up, blink rate. Think of this like a vital sign for a person's mental state. It's totally unconscious, it's almost impossible to control, and it's a rock-solid indicator of what is going on in their head. And the amount it can change is just astounding.
I mean, the range is massive. Think about a time you were watching a movie and you were just totally captivated. Your blink rate plummets, sometimes to just a few blinks a minute. Now think about taking a really stressful exam. It can skyrocket to over a blink a second. That's the difference between engagement and pure anxiety.
Now, here's the secret. You don't need a stopwatch. Just get a feel for their normal rhythm at the start of the conversation. That's their baseline. Then, just watch for the shift. When you mention the price, does their blinking suddenly speed up? When you talk about something you both like, does it slow down? That change is the signal you're looking for.
Okay, moving down from the eyes, we're going to find some clues in one of the most honest parts of the body, the hands. But first, let's bust a really common myth.
Forget what you've heard. Crossed arms, most of the time, it means nothing. Seriously, it's just comfortable. This system is about reliable signals, not old cliches. And one of the most reliable signals you can find comes from the fingers.
This next one is so powerful because you can often spot it in your peripheral vision. It's called digital extension. That's when their fingers just relax and uncurl. That is a green light. It shows they're comfortable. But its opposite, digital flexion, that subtle curling inward toward the palm, that's a red flag. It's a nonverbal sign of stress or disagreement.
This next one is subtle, but I'm telling you, it is pure gold once you learn to spot it. It's this tiny, super quick spike of just one shoulder, and it usually happens right as someone is making a statement. It's over in a split second.
So what does it mean? It's basically an unconscious leak of uncertainty. Their words might be saying one thing, but that little shoulder shrug is screaming, I don't fully believe this. It's a total disconnect between their mouth and their mind.
Here's a perfect example. You ask your buddy how his new job is. He looks at you and says, "Oh, it's great." But as he says it, one of his shoulders does that little spike. The words say everything's fine, but his body just betrayed a total lack of conviction. You've just seen behind the mask, and he didn't say a single extra word.
So, we've got the mindset, and we have a few really powerful tools. How do we combine all this into a practical system that you can use, like, the second this explainer is over?
Here it is, your 3-step checklist. First, always start with those 4 laws as your mindset. See people with empathy. Second, focus on changes from their baseline, not just single actions. And third, and this is so important, look for clusters. A single gesture is just noise. But when you see a fast blink rate, and the fingers curling in, and a single-sided shrug all at the same time, well, that's not noise anymore. That's a story.
And that's really the potential of what you've just learned. By focusing on these unconscious, reliable signals, you can pick up on insights that even the people closest to them might miss, simply because they just don't know what to look for.
And that's the final, crucial point here. This knowledge isn't just some cool party trick. It is a powerful tool. A tool for connection, for empathy, for negotiation. In a way, it's a kind of superpower. And the real question is, how are you going to choose to use it?